Are small towns in the United States poised to become the next big thing in real estate investment? With digital nomadism on the rise, the economic landscape of these small towns is transforming in ways that were unimaginable just a few years ago. Welcome to the Commercial Real Estate Insights Podcast. I'm your host, Steve Hamoan. Let's get right to it. The rise of digital nomadism is quietly transforming the economic landscape of small U.S. towns. As remote work becomes the norm, a new breed of workplace is emerging in places like Abernathy, Texas, and Taos, New Mexico, communities that 5 years ago might have seemed destined for decline. These towns, once overlooked by investors, are now attracting a wave of remote workers seeking affordability, connectivity, and community. This shift is creating a unique confluence of real estate and service sector opportunities that savvy investors should not ignore. The traditional narrative of urban migration is reversing. In 2025, small towns with populations under 10,000 are seeing median home price growth outpacing national averages by 15 to 20%. This is driven by digital nomads and remote workers who prioritize a low cost of living and high-speed internet, which is now available in 90% of these towns. For example, the median home prices in these towns are 40% lower than in major metro areas, making them attractive to those seeking a more affordable lifestyle without sacrificing connectivity. Key opportunities are emerging in these small towns. Co-living developments are transforming properties in places like Lincoln, Kansas, and Tell City, Indiana, into shared living spaces with workspaces, kitchens, and amenities. These developments cater to digital nomads seeking flexibility without sacrificing community. Monticello, Indiana, for instance, offers relocation incentives up to $10,750, directly funding such projects. Additionally, investors in Brevard, North Carolina, and Livingston, Montana, are converting vacation homes into hybrid rentals. These properties blend long-term affordability for residents with short-term flexibility for visitors, capitalizing on the dual demand from digital nomads and tourists. Furthermore, towns like Pikeville, Kentucky, are seeing demand for homes with dedicated office spaces and smart home technology. Properties with these work-ready amenities sold at 25% higher prices in the first quarter of 2025. The influx of remote workers is not just inflating property values, it's turbocharging local economies. In towns like Taos, New Mexico, and Travelers Rest, South Carolina, service sector businesses are expanding to meet the needs of a workforce that values convenience, wellness, and community. For instance, the demand for professional environments is fueling a boom in co-working hubs. Brevard, North Carolina, now hosts 3 co-working spaces, each with occupancy rates above 90%, generating ancillary revenue from cafes, tech support, and local partnerships. Digital nomads prioritize work-life balance, creating demand for yoga studios, health-focused cafes, and fitness centers. In Lawrence, Michigan, a local yoga studio expanded its offerings after seeing 70% of its clientele become digital nomads. Additionally, the reliability of high-speed internet is non-negotiable for remote workers. Towns like Pikeville, Kentucky, are partnering with local ISPs to offer tiered internet plans tailored to remote professionals, creating a recurring revenue stream for investors. However, there are challenges to navigate. Rising demand could strain housing availability for locals, as seen in Jerome, Arizona. To address this, towns are capping short-term rentals and incentivizing long-term leases. Over-reliance on digital nomad-driven economies risks volatility, so diversifying into sectors like agriculture or cultural tourism can stabilize growth. Investors should also monitor local policies, as some towns are introducing taxes on short-term rentals to fund infrastructure. For investors, the strategic investment playbook involves targeting digital nomad hubs with existing incentives and infrastructure, such as Tell City, Indiana's relocation packages, and Travelers Rest's 5 Gbps internet. It's also crucial to diversify service sector exposure by investing in co-working spaces with ancillary retail and wellness services, which offer recurring revenue streams. Collaborating with local governments on broadband expansion or co-living developments can reduce capital risk, as seen in Lincoln, Kansas. The digital nomad migration is not a passing trend, but a structural shift in how and where we work. For investors, this means rethinking traditional real estate and service sector paradigms. Small towns with the right infrastructure, incentives, and community ethos are not just surviving, they're thriving. The key is to act early in these markets before they become saturated. As the old adage goes, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. The Karnataka government has introduced a new land regularization policy that aims to legalize properties with incomplete records in Bengaluru. This regulation is expected to unlock vast land parcels in the city's peripheral areas, addressing Bengaluru's acute land supply shortage and curbing illegal sales. Additionally, it is projected to boost property tax revenue for the municipal corporation. This policy allows properties in 110 village areas added to Bengaluru's municipal limits to convert to Akata, certifying full regulatory compliance and clear ownership titles. Many of these properties previously had Bikatas, which were issued for irregular plots or properties since 2009. The new framework allows property owners to apply for regularization through a self-declaration scheme by paying a one-time penalty and complying with basic conditions. Once regularized, these properties will be eligible for ACATA certificates, making them legally recognized and fit for sale, construction, and civic services. Industry insiders have noted that this regulation will unlock a substantial stock of urban land that was previously unutilized due to legal uncertainty. This could ease the pressure on Bengaluru's real estate market by curbing the rampant sale of unapproved small plots and unauthorized subdivisions, which have long undermined urban planning on the city's outskirts. Land prices in Bengaluru have doubled in the last 4 years due to a shortage of properties with clear titles. Analysts estimate that land prices in regularized areas could rise by 15 to 25% in the next 12 months, as demand picks up and formal financing becomes accessible to both developers and end buyers. The policy also aims to plug loopholes that enabled unregulated growth in building construction. Urban planners and civic activists, however, have raised concerns about the potential misuse of the policy, especially in ecologically sensitive areas. They urge careful implementation to avoid environmental degradation. Legal experts suggest that if implemented transparently and tied to robust zoning enforcement, this reform could become a model for other fast-growing Indian cities battling unregulated sprawl. In this week's edition of Strictly Business, Buchanan Realty Group, a boutique commercial real estate firm, highlights the latest developments in Jackson, Tennessee. Under the direction of principal agent Brandon Buchanan, the firm specializes in all aspects of commercial leasing, representing clients in retail, hospitality, medical, industrial, and multifamily sectors. This week, demolition has been completed at 2 locations on South Highland Avenue. The former Truck Cap Express at 1871 South Highland Avenue, along with the house at 1863 South Highland Avenue, will make way for a new commercial development. Meanwhile, a new convenience store with fuel pumps is planned for the site of 1911 South Highland Avenue. Scooter's Coffee has announced the opening date for its new drive-through coffee house at 1732 South Highland Avenue. This location, previously home to Jamaica Me Tan and Jamaica Me Beautiful, will open its doors at 5 a.m. on Monday, July 21st. Scooter's Coffee, headquartered in Bellevue, Nebraska, is the second-largest drive-through coffee chain in the United States, offering a variety of hot and cold drinks, as well as food items. Over at Park Place West, plans are underway for a new hotel and restaurant. The development will be situated on Christmasville Cove, adding to the area's growing hospitality scene. This new hotel will be the 8th in the vicinity, joining other well-known brands like La Quinta Inns and Suites and Woodspring Suites. In other news, the former site of Jackson Motor Company on North Highland Avenue has been demolished. The property was sold by the K. Cox Family Trust to Black Cypress Pyramid, LLC, for $450,000 in June 2025, marking the end of an era for the automobile dealership that operated for 38 years. As Jackson continues to evolve, the upcoming Jackson City Fair, hosted by the Jackson Rockabillys, promises to bring excitement and family fun to the area. Scheduled for August 20th to the 24th, the fair will feature carnival rides, attractions, and the unique experience of hot air balloon rides. Thank you for listening to the Commercial Real Estate Insights podcast. I'm your host, Steve Hawmoon. See you on the next one.